I'm sure some people in the black community, maybe not in the white community, they've heard these terms. I mean, years ago it was Uncle Tom, and now it's the term coon. So I was just reflecting on my own life, and I'd ask myself this question: am I a coon? Now, some people may say, well, if you have to ask yourself if you're a coon, then you probably are. And maybe, I don't know the definition, the full definition of a coon, coonism. Maybe I haven't drank enough, or maybe I drank too much. Coon-aid, so to speak. I don't know. So let's just take a look at my record, and then maybe somebody can say, well, you are a coon. And I want them to give me the definition of a coon. Now, I vote Republican sometime, I vote Democratic, I vote Independent sometime. Does that make me a coon? I look at some of the things that President Trump is doing, and some things I agree with. Does that make me a coon? Now, let's look at my record. And then, like I said, you decide on if I'm a coon or not, or what a coon is. I could be closely related to a coon. I don't know. I may fall in that category. I'll leave that up to the black community to decide. But I do business with blacks, whites, Asians, Hispanic, Africans. Does that make me a coon? I have a foundation, whereas I help ex-felons. I help and continue to help children with after-school programs. We provide lunch, meals for kids on a daily basis. So beyond that, we have parenting classes for inner city youth, mostly are black. That's the record I stand on. I'm not a person who just spews out a lot of hot air. I'm not going to give you a movie to look at. You know, it's not a substance that you can actually grasp and hold on to. What is a movie? Come on, somebody writes a book or somebody does a video. How is that actually helping the black community? If you're hungry, will you say, well, go read this book or go watch this movie? No, you want food. If you're thirsty, you want a drink. So those are the tangible things that I'm more concerned with when I'm helping people. Now, it just so happens that I try and help those who need help the most and who actually want it, which in my case are predominantly black. But we have Hispanics. We have a few whites that, they still need help. They're still Americans. So that's where I stand. I stand on helping, actually doing something physical, a physical feat that somebody can actually see and can benefit from, other than some words, because words are not going to feed you. I may uplift you, maybe give you some insight, but if you need a job, can words help? So that's something else that we've done. We help youth, teens, obtain jobs. with the Workforce Commission. We bring in some of the major corporations and we get them to hire these young people as interns so they can get some experience. We help a lot of the those who can't read. We help them to learn how to read, get a GED. Like I said, those are physical things that we're doing. Not, we're not just out here having an award show and we're giving an award for somebody who said something. I mean, come on. So again, am I in the Coon category? Because with those things that I've just mentioned, I'd like to compare my record against somebody who don't consider themselves as a coon, but they make these videos, they write these books, they make these movies. But check their record. See what they're actually doing to improve and to help the black community other than words. I mean, some actions, This country is about actions, not so much about words. We had words with the great President Obama. He gave us a lot of words. I mean, he was very inspirational. He was a very good speechwriter. But like I said before, the man hadn't even operated a successful lemonade stand business. So come on. We need to start being practical. And I think a lot of the younger generation is beginning to see that. And that's a good thing. Because another thing about people who want to label somebody as a coon is that if you don't agree with me, or if you don't agree with my political affiliation, then you're a coon. You can be a conservative Republican and then you're automatically in the coon zone. Now, I don't consider myself either one because, like I said, I vote based on a record. I check the actual person's record. For instance, you could have a judge who's a Republican running against an independent or a Democrat, but if you check their records as to how consistent they've been on certain issues, then that's my determining factor if I'm going to vote for them or not. So it was just something that I was just curious about as far as these people who call others, coons, and they give them all these derogatory names. And it amazes me because these are actual other black people who are labeling another black person with a derogatory term, so to speak. So, where do I classify? Just something to think about.